I figured out how to get it to work on TikTok. So, um, yeah, hopefully y'all can hear me. And y'all jump in if you can let me know. I'll take this off because I'm pretty sure the mic isn't gonna work on YouTube Live. I have to get like my computer set up, and I don't have a computer now. So let me get my tripod situated, and then I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit today. I hope that I have the AC running right now because it's been so hot. Um, so yeah, I hope that's not too loud. So I guess maybe I should talk a little bit louder. But yeah, let me. I have my hair today, and it's just drying now. So I'm gonna have to retwist it. Oh my! This on here. Cool. Ah. All right. Is that good? Are we good? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. YouTube, what's good? I guess I gotta talk a little louder. I have some coconut water because I cut the grass today. It's been crazy hot the last few days. It's supposed to rain like for a long time, like I think like a week or two. And the next day, so I was cutting the grass, getting that done, and taking care of all of the new animals because we have a bunch of new babies that were born, and yeah, just taking care of them. So I'm tired. Today has been an eventful day. I don't know why I like pack so much in on a Wednesday, but it just kind of happens that way. It's midweek, so of course it's like usually Sundays are like prep for the week, get ready and stuff. So Wednesday midweek is kind of like redoing things, re-prepping, reevaluating all these things, like adjusting to whatever has happened so far during the week and all that good stuff. But I really gotta chug this. Ooh, yeah. So, ooh, it's hot. Hopefully, this AC is not too loud, but we're gonna go with it. So I'm just chilling. We're not gonna do too much today on here. I'm tired, like I said. So, but showing up anyway. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sending the love. I do appreciate it. Um, I washed my hair today, so I was able to wash out some of that pinkish tint that was still in it. Looks like this still got a little bit left, but getting somewhere. How y'all doing? Is it hot where you're at? Because it's hot here. Yes, I just finished my lunch, that's why it took me a while to get on here. No, not no milk. This is coconut water. Trying to get a little hydrated. So I was out cutting the grass today, and yeah, at least I mean I got somewhat of a tan. My whole face, like I wear these goggles and this like pull up mask, whatever. I can't remember what it's called, cloth thing. I have my headphones and my hat on, and so the sun isn't really getting my face. But yeah, and so I've been trying to cool it down in here. I mean, I can only do but so much with these AC units. Um, Thank you. I love you. Hope y'all been doing good. Thank y'all for joining me and tapping the like button on here. It's a little different than TikTok. TikTok, you just tap the screen, but I do appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Usually, like I'll talk about a topic or something on my lives. You can go back and look at some of my old ones. Every Wednesday, I jump on here. Um, I don't know. I think it's like 90 something. I think it's been like the low 90s the last few days. So, it's like one of those times where you have no choice but to sweat when you step outside. So I just accepted my fate and, just shower at night. And, I've just been outside a lot the last few days. So I'm just like going. That's why I'm tired as well. But I did a lot early in the week. So now I can slow down a bit. And again, I'm excited about this rain that's about to come because we're in a drought right now out here on the East Coast. And a little concerning though, because when you're in a drought and then you have a lot of rain, that ends up into flooding because it can't absorb that much water at one time. Um, any plans for tomorrow? Honestly, just working on content. Um, that's one of my main things. I'm adjusting some stuff on my channel. Usually I would do like daily shorts. So I'm going to cut back on the daily shorts because I want more quality instead of just hitting just to hit it. As well as, I mean, I've been consistent for a year now, doing my two long form a week and then shorts every day. Oh my, I just rattled off. I don't know. Through the breaker. There we go. Okay, the breaker just went. So I have to turn the other AC unit on. Flash floods. I look, it hasn't happened yet, but I'm gonna say in the next week that might happen because if we're in a drought, like a severe drought, and then we have so much rain, that much water cannot be absorbed into the ground in an efficient way. Um, Plus, just like all the other things with our natural environment now, it's just not gonna be able to hold that water. So I would assume that there's gonna be some places that that might happen in. I mean, just depends on if we actually do get all this rain. I'm gonna enjoy it though because it's gonna cool it down. That's my time to like I could just stay in the house for real, and like do what I need to do. Which I've been doing like a lot of research and studying things, and like I said, working on my content. I want to get more quality, which I believe that I do anyway. I'm just working on the way I say things, my storytelling skills as well. And so just really honing in on that, working on, saying the same thing 10 different ways. And because everybody, their understanding of words may be different. This is for all of us. Language is pretty cool and important, but there's so many meanings behind certain words, the tone that you use for the words, like language in general and communication in general is really interesting when you look at it. But I'm going to flip this breaker, turn the other AC unit on, and then I want to talk about what I was just looking at. And I'm going to look deeper into it, which is really just about the color, wavelengths of color, because this is something that I'm looking into right now. I saw a bird out here on the hammock when I got back over here before I got on live. There was a blue bird. Never seen this type of blue. Like I don't believe I have. I've seen regular blue jays. I don't know what they are, but I saw this blue bird. I had to look it up. It's just an eastern bluebird. That's literally what it is, a bluebird for real. And but it was so vivid. The blue, the color blue was so vivid. It was on this hammock strap, and but when it turned its back to me, it looked purple. And I was like, what kind of bird is this? Like it looked so vivid to where I was like, am I really seeing this? Then I started to look into it. I remember that the color blue is not actually in nature. If I'm not like that's what I was doing before I got on here too. That's why it took me a little bit. And I'm gonna look at it here in a second too. We're gonna like dive into it together. But the color blue is an optical illusion. That blue on that bird is an optical illusion. The blue on a peacock is an optical illusion. Isn't that crazy? Did you know that? Did you know that? They say that the red on a cardinal is due to the foods that they eat. It's chemicals that the pigment from chemical molecules, basically. So that's a different structure. The structure on a bluebird and a peacock and anything blue like that shows a color of blue. It's just a reflection of light. It's an optical illusion. It's not real. So I was about to dive into how do we even have blue, the color blue pigment. Like it's very rare to find that in nature. I'm not going to say it's not out there. We're going to figure this out together. We're going to go on a little investigation about the light spectrum because I'm always interested in the fact that we can only see certain colors through our eyes. Obviously, there's people who are colorblind too, but the light spectrum in general, what we can even see, like we can only see on that spectrum, we cannot see anything else, which is crazy because there is other stuff there to be able to see. Oh my god. Okay, before I get into that, I'm gonna flip this breaker. We're gonna turn the AC unit on. But I hope y'all doing good out there. Let me take y'all off here and flip this breaker. Okay, I'm gonna drop my iPad, which is what we're gonna use to look into this stuff. I always have thought, let me turn this off. I've always thought they're pretty cool looking. And yeah, when I saw that bird today, I was like, what? It just made me think about, yeah, the color blue. And I like the color blue. It's probably pretty obvious if you've been around me. I'll just say that. All right, so I just turned that AC unit on. We just flipped the breaker, so hopefully that won't get thrown again. All right, let's look at this. What y'all been up to though? How y'all doing out there? But I want y'all to tell me though, do you think it's true or false that the color blue is an optical illusion in nature? Like the natural color blue. Hold on, let me pull this up. Drink some more of this. I can get hydrated. I washed my hair, so it just is what it is right now. Ooh. Okay. Let me try. What is that? We're gonna pull this up because I was searching this before I got on here. So I was talking about how I'm gonna be restructuring. I'm working on content. I'm gonna be restructuring things a bit, preparing to reveal the product that I've been working on. It's been in the works for like almost 5 years at this point. It's my first prototype of this product, and I'm excited about it. But I don't want to rush it either. It's been a whole process. If you've been joining me, you've heard some of my lives, me talk about it. I've even shown recently some of the product, and I want to be able to present it in a way that people can find it very useful, um, and those that can use it will be able to use it. No, I'm not into that, and that's disgusting. All right, so the etymology of wavelength. We're gonna go into. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, real quick. So I'm not gonna do daily shorts for right now. I'm gonna stop doing daily shorts because I want to have more quality behind my shorts instead of just. How about you do it? So instead of just throwing up whatever to be consistent, which I have for a year now. And I do long form on Sunday. Wednesday, I was doing long form. Obviously, I'm doing Wednesday lives right now. I'm going to continue to do Wednesday lives. It also helps me to get my watch time hours up so that I can open up a YouTube shop. I have to have 3,000 watch time hours, and the way that they calculate those is a little weird. So I don't even like know how they actually do that, but I do know that like the live streams help because more people see the lives in real time. I guess if they're scrolling here on YouTube, then they can find me faster. But so anyway, I will continue Wednesday live, Sunday long form. I'm just honing in on the content, making sure I'm on track with the goal and the breakdown of the information that I want to share and that I believe is valuable and that others have asked me about. So whenever somebody asks me a question that they're, from another video, or they tell me something that they're going through and, we have a conversation about it, then I may bring that up. Or if when I go to share a video on like TikTok or something and I have a lot of engagement from that video, then I go deeper into that topic. But I want to have it a little more structured, being that I can't do a whole lot of editing because my laptop crashed. So I have to just adjust how I'm doing things. And so, yeah, that's just some changes I'm going to be making on the channel. What was the other thing? yeah, I'm just going to keep doing the long form, and I'll do shorts, just not daily. Um, what else was it? I feel like it was something else I was going to tell y'all. Uh, I don't know. If it comes back to me, then I'll bring it up. Oh man, my phone is about to die. I'm having some issues getting going here on YouTube. Let me go get my charger and then I'll be back. All right. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Hello, Diane. I don't know how you say your name or your username. Um, but yes. All right. So I'm just going to get into what I was looking into today. And this has been a topic that I've thought was interesting for a while now. I've heard that the color blue is not found in nature, or it's very rare to be found in nature. If it is, we're gonna find out if you can actually find it. Like I said, when I was looking into the bluebird that I saw out here, it was very vivid. That's when I would start to look it up. Like, is this true? Like, I know I've heard this before. I've seen it before. It's true. It's just a light reflects an optical illusion. The blue on the bluebird is an optical illusion. All right. So let's see. I was looking at the etymology of wavelength. The word is straightforward. Uh, during the dawn of modern wave theory physics. Okay, the word wave comes from moving back and forth, length from the property of being long. So moving back and forth and length. Um, the visible light spectrum color is just our brain's interpretation of these physical sizes. Color is our brain's interpretation. Okay, and it's measuring in nanometers. Okay, we're not gonna get into all that. The visible light spectrum. Crazy. This is crazy. Okay. That's why we say this is a magical place we live in. I mean, there's a lot going on. Um, it's crazy, It's not always all fun and sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff, but this is a magical place, and people are like, oh, magic, science, it's the same thing. Okay, cool, whatever. It's however you want to say it. For me, I want to say it that way. It's the same thing. Okay. Um, so yes, the visible light spectrum, optical light wavelength. Okay, what is it talking about? Here we go. Let me just look it up myself because I don't understand why it's doing that. Etymology of wavelength. Anybody know? Has anybody else looked into this before? Is the color blue found in nature? Is the color blue found in nature? Like the pigment blue. What am I doing? Wait. No? The heck? How are y'all doing out there, though? You can talk. What is happening? Now it's not searching. A wavelength is the physical distance between two identical points in a consecutive cycle of a wave. What the heck? Oh, now it wants to load. Okay. The distance between peaks of adjacent waves. So that's like a literal wave. Let me see this, like a wave. Okay, this is not going to be good. Like a wave, right? And then they put a line in the middle and the peaks. Okay, the peaks. The distance between peaks of adjacent waves. Hmm. The figurative use is reference to attunement, mental harmony. The figurative use in reference to attunements of mental harmony. Interesting. Oh, wait. Can is it gonna. What? I don't know what's happening with this. Wave. Motion to and from. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna draw this. Y'all are just gonna hang out with me in real time while I look into this. And we're gonna figure this out. Okay. So a wavelength is a distance between peaks of adjacent waves in figurative use in reference to attuning your mental harmony. So when we're in disharmony in our mind, okay, our wavelength is off, or it doesn't have the correct distance in the peaks. Anyway, all right, let's go back. Whew. Let's see. Etymology of labeling. All right, so I'm gonna draw. Boom, boom. Labeling. Light behaves like a wave. A wavelength is simply the physical distance between two consecutive peaks of a wave. Okay, so it's the in between of the peaks. Light behaves like a wave. Back and forth length. The visible light spectrum is our brain's interpretation of these physical sizes. The length, our brain's interpretation of the length in between peaks. So if the waves are moving, we see the light reflecting on the wave, just like a wave in an ocean or anywhere. The light that reflects, you only see like the peak of the wave. The other part looks dark. Interesting. So it's the reflection of light. And then our brain interprets the distance. What did it say? The brain's interpretation. So if our brain misinterprets it, then we're going to interpret it like something different. Our only understanding of it, our brain can only comprehend. I guess they say it's evolution. How do we get our eyes to see more than what's already there? Okay, and this was something that I was thinking, this is interesting that it's all coming together right now. But I was thinking about this earlier today about like extraterrestrials. I was going to say aliens, extraterrestrials. And they always depict them with eyes. Even though some of them have telepathy, they all have eyes. Which is just interesting to me because so we need our eyes to interpret the reflection of light. I don't know. I'm just thinking about interpreting space. Talking about like quantum physics and stuff. If we didn't have eyes, would we be able to comprehend what things look like? Probably not. But if there's extraterrestrials from other places, can they see on a different spectrum? And if so, you have to have eyes. Even though, different animals have different kind of eyes and understanding of interpretations of the wavelengths. Um, hello on the East Coast in the States. Where are you from? How are you doing? I'm just over here kind of like thinking out loud and looking into, well, one, the color of blue in nature, and now like the light spectrum in general right now. Because how does that even work? How do we even see the color blue? Because supposedly the color blue on the birds are just it's an optical illusion. There's a structure, and light hits the structure, and it shows us the wave of blue. Our eyes are perceiving the angle as blue, the interpretation. Anyway, Russia? What? Well, it's got to be like nighttime or something. I know the time difference is crazy. It's almost 5:30 here. So, if light hits the wave, our interpretation, let's see, color is the brain's interpretation of these physical sizes, which is the length between the peaks. This is interesting. And it knows that because on this light spectrum, each color is a certain distance. If you don't know what I'm looking at, see, I don't know. This has been well, I just dropped it, so is it not letting me tap on it? Let's see. Let's do this. The light spectrum. Oh, how many tabs do I got? Oh, wow, this is moving so slow. I might need to switch. Let me see if I'm even on the right Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe that was the issue. We'll see. This speeds it up. Uh, welcome in Russia. What's my name? My name is Tito. My name's Tito. Are you Max? Let's load this again. There we go. Well, this is like blurry. Kinda. How do I? Okay. Microwave, infrared, visible. All right. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what I'm looking at. The light spectrum. And visible light is here. That one is visible light. We can only see in that small area of space. But all of this is what is there, the light spectrum, all of that. We can only see visibly in that small area, which is really interesting. I mean, obviously, there's a purpose. And it also shows like there's no other color, or at least we don't understand. We don't know the interpretation of what that even is. Hey, just your username. I just assumed from your username. All right. The temperature of objects, frequency, the Earth's atmosphere. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Why does it keep jumping? All right. Human eye, vector gradient diagram. Red light has the longest wavelength. The waves are long, lazy, and spaced apart. Interesting. Blue/violet light has the shortest wavelength. These waves are highly energetic, tight, and tightly packed. So the waves are closer together for blue and further apart for red. Interesting. These are red is longer, lazier, spaced apart. Hi, thank you. Appreciate it. So what do you do in Russia? What's going on over there? Like how's the weather right now? Does it get warmer now? These are highly energetic. These are blue is energetic. Tight. Oh, my pen is running out. What the heck is going on? Tight. Packed. Okay. The illusion. Inside of a barb of a bluebird feather sits three-dimensional matrix made of keratin and air pockets. It's a spongy medullary layer. It works through a physics principle called coherent scattering. Specifically, Rayleigh or me. I've never heard of that. Scattering. Interesting. Depending on the structure. Physics principle called coherent scattering. If you don't know what I'm doing, I have like a huge sketchbook, and I just like dump notes on there, and this is how I kind of like do my research and a study, and I just put things together, put it down, and then I'll flip the page, and then I'll start to like connect dots and stuff like that. Would I do this? Research. I'm an author. Check out my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I help people through transitions in life, building new identities, and just growth in general, accomplishing goals. But before we can even get there, we have to address our identity, our belief system, these patterns that repeat in our lives, just breaking behavioral loops, and then we can see change in our life that's sustainable and lasting as well. Right now, I'm working on my product. It's my first prototype, and it helps people regulate their nervous system, come back to alignment, and then be able to like move forward. A lot of times, people are stressed, they're burned out, they're anxious. In the world right now, there's so many toxins and buildups and disease and sadness and fear and all kind of emotions and things. And if people don't know how to process that out of their body, if we don't even know how to identify and name those things and stop the loops, we will continue to spiral and get into dark places. And we need people who are strong and capable right now. And it's very important that we empower each other. And so this is just my way that I can help empower and equip people to continue to, just continue to light the fire and pass it on and all that good stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I saw a bird. There's been a squirrel, a crazy squirrel out here, and it's it would eat all of the bird seeds. So I haven't put any bird seeds in the bird feeder in like a week, maybe a little over a week. And I'm saying this squirrel came and knocked on my door. I talked about it in my last live. Well, it came back and I got it on video this time. I got it on video to prove I'm not crazy. And that squirrel came to my door because I wasn't putting bird seed out. And it chewed into the gas tank. This is how mad it was. It chewed into the mouse trap. It chewed into the gas tank. I mean, it was flipping out. And I wouldn't put any out there. And it's been, like I said, a week. It's been hot out here. So I'm hoping that it went somewhere else. I mean, I like nature and all this other stuff, but it needs to go away. And it's affecting my birds. My birds like to be out here. I did see my cardinal. I hadn't seen my cardinal in a while too because of that. But it was here today. She was banging on my window again. Or he was banging on, no, it was she, the female bangs on the window. Want to talk your tea. Long bitch. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. But I do appreciate you watching and hanging out with me. But yeah, I'll get some cool birds out here now. So we'll see. I put some of the seeds out today. And like I said, it's gonna rain in the next day or so. So it'll cool it off. Although I mean the rain's gonna wash out some of this, but we'll see what happens. See if that squirrel leaves or not. Then I'm gonna have to like do something else to get the squirrel to go away, which sucks. I'm like, hey, you can be chill, but that squirrel tripping out, like chewing into a gas tank with gas in it. Why? And why are you running up to my door, scratching on my door? Like it's doing too much. Anyway, that's what's been going on around here. Like these animals, man, it's been something else. A bunch of babies of different kinds of animals, and yeah, it's been real active around here. I'll say that. All right, gonna get back into this. Oh yeah, coherent. That's what I was writing. Coherent scattering. Butterfly. Yeah. Coherent scattering. Rayleigh or me. I have no. What is that? Scattering. An English physicist. Electrical units of resistance, current, and electromagnetic force or electromotive force. I've never heard of electromotive. All right, how about we do this? Copy scattering. Yeah, Rayleigh scattering. I've never heard of that. Rayleigh scattering is the process by which light is scattered by particles or molecules that significantly smaller than the what that are significantly smaller than the light's wave. Light is scattered by particles or molecules that are smaller than the light's wavelength. Hmm. So then it depends on the particles or molecules. Light interacts with gas molecules, then oscillating electric field of light wave forces the electrons in these molecules to vibrate, turning them into tiny secondary radiators that scatter the light in all directions. Oh my god, that's a lot of information. What? Yeah. The blue sky, real world phenomena, the blue sky. Even though violet light has a shorter wavelength and scatters more than blue light, we perceive the sky as blue. This is because the sun emits a higher volume of blue light, and human eyes are much more sensitive to blue than violet. Signal loss in optical fibers. Fluctuations in the glass fiber's core scatter light away from the intended path. Huh? So Rayleigh scattering would affect fiber optics, like in a bad way. Rayleigh scattering is a process by which light is scattered by particles or molecules that are smaller. So basically, is that if there's a gas or particles or molecules floating around, that affects the way we see the wavelengths. Like, of course, like light's going to be scattered more because of that. Okay, all right, I'm gonna back that up. That's a lot of processing of information. Here we go. This is the other one. My scattering, me scattering, MIE scattering. I've never heard of it. Me scattering is the scattering of electromagnetic radiation, light, by particles that are similar to or larger than the light's wavelength. So this one is larger. Rayleigh's is smaller than wavelengths. such as water drops, dust, and aerosol, because it scatters all visible wavelengths equally. It produces white or colorless light. Hmm. Then there's optical scattering. Colorless light. Interesting. Electromagnetism. Okay. I'll have to come back to this another time. That's okay. Rayleigh's is smaller particles affecting the light that we perceive, and me is larger particles affecting the light that we see. So that would be like clouds, because that's white light in a way, right? Yeah, clouds, because they're water particles too. Um, and then I guess for gas, if you think about a flame, the flame, there's different color flames. Okay, moving on. The sieve effect. The air pockets inside of the feather are not random, they are precisely spaced. I'm talking nanometers here. Sheesh. This is a lot of information. Because blue light waves are incredibly short and tight, they perfectly match the physical spacing of the keratin air gaps. So they were created that way. When white sunlight enters the structure, the blue wavelengths bounce off of the air to keratin boundaries, so the space in between. And because the spacing matches their size, the bouncing blue waves line up perfectly. They amplify each other, blasting a vivid blue signal back to your eyes. Interesting. All light wavelengths travel at exactly the same speed, the speed of light. So all the waves, it's the same speed. It's about penetration and absorption. They pass through the spongy layer without scattering, like a large ocean wave rolling over a tiny pebble. A wall of melanin. Absorbing their energy and turning it into heat. So it's not that red takes longer, it's that red is swallowed and trapped by darkness, while only the blue is reflected back out. What? What? Red is swallowed. It says swallowed and trapped by darkness. It's talking about the melanin, black and brown pigment. A wall of melanin. The waves crash into this wall of melanin, this darker layer, and it acts like a sponge, absorbing their energy and turning it into heat. So if it's hotter, it's darker. I mean, we know that like that's why you're not supposed to like wear black outside and stuff because it will attract heat or whatever. Like it heats you up faster or whatnot. Swallowed and trapped. The blue reflects back. Okay. The speed of light. Light wavelengths. Speed of light. Hmm. Blue reflects back and red is swallowed. Okay. So birds, mammals, and reptiles can't make blue pigment. That's all illusion. It's an optical illusion. It does say that true chemical blue pigment is rare, but we can extract it from minimal mineral chemistry and unique plant survival mechanisms. So maybe not through birds, mammals, and reptiles, but through plants and minerals, which would be like rocks and, natural resources like that, I guess. Mineral chemistry, the rocks. Thousands of years, blue paint was a luxury reserved for royalty and religious art because it had to be mined. Lapis lazuli, I liked it. I don't think I have any. I'll have to get some. Deep blue metamorphic rock, mined mostly in Afghanistan. Artists like Michelangelo had to grind this semi precious stone into a fine powder to get blue paint. It is literally worth its weight in gold. Azurite and cobalt. I always want to say cobalt. What? Azurite and cobalt, copper and cobalt based minerals found deep in the earth that naturally form blue crystalline structures due to transition metal chemistry. So I know like malachite, it's a green stone. And if it's near copper, I believe, then in certain areas where it is grown or where it is created, I don't know how do you say that? Yeah, where it processes, um, it's near copper. So azurite, which I think some malachite has azurite on it actually, if I'm not mistaken. Copper and cobalt based minerals found deep in the earth naturally form blue crystalline structures due to chemistry. So it's not biological. Anyway, lapis lazuli. I've been meaning to get some of that anyway. So let's see. Okay, and then plant alchemy, the dyes. While animals use physics, a tiny handful of plants use complex organic chemistry to create blue molecules to deter pests and attract pollinators. Indigo and what? Uh, is it working? It just kicked me off. What in the world? I just lost all my signal. Like SOS. What? Okay. I don't know what is going on today. A yellow flowered European plant in the cabbage family. That's woad. Grown as a source of blue dye. It's extracted from the leaves after they have been dried. And I guess they grind it up, which is interesting because they're a yellow plant. How do you know they can turn into blue? And then we get blue pigment from them. This exact chemical pigment used to dye the first blue jeans, okay, and anthocyanins This is a chemical compound that makes blueberries and eggplant look blue and purple. However, it is highly unstable. If you crush a blueberry, get it on your shirt, it quickly oxidizes, which means it changes pH and turns into a muddy reddish brown or gray. We like to call it rusty. Things oxidize. It's like getting rusty, but it's really just the pH changing to, I'm going to assume, more acidic at that point. Um, so you only really find blue in plants in very few places. Interesting. So in nature, the natural environment, we don't have blue in animals. That's an optical illusion. You have blue in rocks, minerals, that's chemistry, or plants, which create a dye, and again, chemistry. Which means multiple things have to come together to create. Um, anyway, we're not going to go that deep right now. All right. Today we don't grind up lapis lazuli. In 1897, scientists figured out how to synthetically manufacture chemical indigo in a lab. Most blues you see today, from plastic chairs to clothing, are synthetic organic polymers designed by molecular engineers to absorb all light except blue. Because for us to be able to see that it's blue, so that means it would be dark. They made something dark. Indigo. The color, it's a darker color and it would absorb all the other light from the spectrum, and all we see is then a blue. Crazy. No bluebird. I saw a bluebird today. This is what led me down this hole. And I remember that I heard there's no real blue in nature. Well, obviously there's in minerals and plants, but not in mammals, birds, or reptiles. That's that is an optical illusion. That's the light hitting it, the wavelength of light hitting in a certain way. That's what I'm doing right now. I've been sitting here like going deeper into it because I remember hearing that, and how blue was the pigment is so valuable. It was. Now we obviously manufacture it, um, and it's true. It's true. It's an optical illusion. It's spacing between the keratin on the bird's wings, okay, the feathers and down to the sheath or whatever. Keratin, and I forgot what else it is. It's like a sponge, and the spacing in between is just the light. It's the perfect spacing designed, basically, that the light hits it at a certain angle to give us the reflection of blue. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I'm like over here, like looking at this. And now, like, I was looking at wavelength, what that means. And then we went into the fact that color is the brain's interpretation of the physical size between the peaks of a wavelength. Color is just our brain's interpretation of the spacing between wavelengths from the angle of light that reflects towards us, from the angle that we see it at. Yeah. So today we don't grind up lapis lazuli anymore for pigment. They have a synthetic organic polymer designed to absorb all light except for blue. And light is absorbed through, it says melanin, but like dark black brown color absorbs the red and the orange and all. And blue reflects back. Blue doesn't get absorbed into it because blue is energetic and is tightly packed. The waves are so close together that it just reflects back. But the speed of light is consistent no matter what color it is. It's always the speed of light. Light is just coming at a rate, a regular rate, whatever the speed of light calculation is. It says it on here, but I don't know how to even say it. I don't know. But the speed of light is just flowing consistently towards us. Red is just further apart in the peaks of the light, which my interpretation would be the frequency or the vibration affects the waves peaks. I don't know. I gotta really break that down and make sure I'm understanding that part correctly. But if I'm not mistaken, because it says that it's affected by particles in the air, basically, small particles and bigger particles are two different scatterings of coherency. And bigger particles will make lighter white light. Smaller particle interference or scattering will create what is it? I think like red. I can't remember if it told me what other colors, but it creates a certain color. So anyway, I'm just thinking, obviously particles affect it. Particles would affect the peaks of the waves, which means light going through something would make the interpretation of the wave have more of a space in between or be closer together. It's wild. It's wild. All right, what's my next question to go a little bit? I'm not gonna go too deep. I've already been on here for almost an hour, but this is what I do, like when I'm researching and studying and stuff. I have like, usually I'll use a whiteboard, which right here is like a portable one. But I have like my daily routine and some of my weekly stuff on here, and then I write down some content ideas and whatnot as well. But right now I'm using this huge sketchbook to write a lot of my notes and things in, and then I'll flip a page and try and connect dots to what I'm working on right now. My project, I created a product, and so I'm connecting some dots on different things. But that's kind of how I work. So today was just me on here thinking out loud and looking deeper into this, because I said it earlier on this live, but I was thinking about, they have disclosure and all right now. And, some of us, we already knew that there's other beings out there. Okay. And then I'm like, all the depictions of aliens or extraterrestrials, they all have eyes. They're different shapes, like big round ones, little squinty ones. They all have eyes, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, okay, even though they have telepathy, they still have eyes to see. So then it's like the whole spectrum of these lenses, these screens that we see through is it's crazy. New Zealand in the house. If you could learn one skill instantly, what would it be and how would you use it? Wow. Good question. One skill instantly. And how would I use it? I mean, right now, I'll just say right now, where I'm at right now, I talked about earlier on this live, the skill of, well, because I mean, I would like to have the skill to understand all of this, but then, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that would make life make life a little harder if you knew all the information, because sometimes life is just like, it's a lot. So anyway, I'll just go to my initial thing is of right now working on my skill of, I want to say storytelling. But then there's also the aspect of writing and speaking. So, communication language. I feel like, I mean, that all kind of falls in the area of communication, which I have a degree in, specifically broadcast and marketing. But it would be, I guess, I want to say storytelling, but I don't know if that fully encompasses everything. But I'll just say it for right now. Storytelling and how would I use it is to improve the way that I give this information out there because I collect the data and synthesize it, and then I translate it. And I also want to be better at storytelling. So things that I've experienced, why I do what I do, and connecting of the dots, being able to do that in a better way. Because again, language is important, and it's interesting that our perspective on life, our worldview, who we are, is all based off of communication, messages that were sent, what we were taught through communication, and then our interpretation of it all. Our whole life is affected by that. If I can go back and forth in time and return once, back or forth in time and return once, where would I go and for what purpose? Okay, you got some good questions. First, what's the skill that you would learn if you could instantly? And then I'll answer this one. So, if I can go back or forth in time and return once, where would I go and for what purpose? That one's hard because I would say forward because I would like to know, and and going back is like, sure, I could like relive an experience, but I would rather have new experiences. Um, and for what purpose? That's the thing, is like to see what happens. But if I have to return, again, the same thing with knowing all the information. It's like, I feel like it would make life harder because if you knew when you're going to die, if you knew whatever, like it changes your whole life. And then like, you're not going to live it the way you would have lived. And then I feel like at that point, is that like the butterfly effect? Because you're probably going to change the outcome. Could you? I don't know. That's an interesting question. Learn an instrument. Okay, true. I've tried. Maybe eventually in the future, I'll be able to pick something up. I mean, I always praise people who can sing, who write poetry, um, who express themselves through music and things like that. Because I mean, that's truly. I mean, a lot of things are skills and talent, but and it takes practice. But still, like, I don't know, it's impressive to me. Would you risk changing the space time continuum by doing something in your time travel adventure? See, that's the thing. Because if you do anything, you change like something, and then it changes everything. I feel like at this point, after watching so many movies and stuff on that, I would try so hard not to change anything because I know like it's going to affect everything, and like we don't even know what the effect would be. Um, but it would be really hard, I'm sure, to like watch certain things just play out and just leave it be, and then not say anything, and not just like change a little thing. I think my only thing would be to not pick up like take a relic or an artifact, like just a little trinket or something, just to remember. So I don't know, but I do know like it can affect the space time continuum. So let's not do that. So I don't know. So, and I wouldn't really like. I don't know if I want to go back in the past. I mean, maybe, but I don't know about that. Would you risk changing the? Oh, I already did that. Oh, you took it back. These are some good questions. Thank you for asking them. Getting my mind off of this wavelengths of light, because, geez, it's a lot of information. I'll have to come back to this. This isn't like my main thing I'm focused on right now or anything. I mean, it kind of ties in a little bit, but it's something interesting and was on my mind. And I saw that blue bird, and it made me think about blue being like rare in nature. And um, again, our eyes, it's a optical illusion. And I've been working on like illusion stuff, like the fact, like our eyes. It's all based on these, what we see with these things, and then our interpretation of it. That's our understanding. And if we have a limited understanding, our interpretation is limited. And okay, right now and in some future videos soon, I'll be talking more about our story because I've had to look at my story that I'm telling myself recently and like um just assessing it again because I find I was finding myself hitting that glass ceiling again or kind of self-sabotaging a little bit. Um and I could go down a spiral of like beating myself up and doubt and like all these things of like old conditioning and old thoughts and whatnot. Yeah, I wash my hair and I don't know. Anyway, I could loop in those thoughts, um, or I can assess it and just bring awareness to it. And awareness is witnessing, and witnessing is being an observer. It's just observing, but knowing that you're the one that's observing it. Like you're not that thing, you're just observing it and experiencing it, feeling it. And what does it mean? And again, if my interpretation of what I'm feeling in my body is skewed, I don't really understand it, then I'm going to interpret it as fear, danger, something's wrong, I'm not right, all these things that are negative. It's not good. Okay. And so then I have to like address that and ask what is the story that I'm telling myself that I don't even realize. It's subconscious programming. If you could ask one person, dead or alive, one question and they had to answer honestly, what would it be and who? My goodness, I don't even know. I would probably ask like an ascended master type of a person, like a Jesus or Buddha or someone like that. Um, but what would I ask them? I think they, in their teachings, if it's true and everything like that, in the teachings, they actually tell us. So, um, I don't know what I would actually ask them. What's your favorite food? Like, because we're so like, oh, all these big questions and all this, and it's like, well, they're real humans walking this earth. Then, what was your favorite food? Like, what did you like to eat? Because you're in the present moment then, and you like to experience that, and that gave you joy. It wasn't like all this existential stuff and spiritual stuff and all this. It's like, did you like to eat something? Were you ever in love? Who was it? Would you like? I don't know, just something like that. I was part of a group session last week, and many people felt they gave too much to work and felt guilty. They were too tired for their family. Yeah, and that's like a loop. And I talk about this a lot on my channel. This is one of the main reasons because I understand. I mean, I don't have like a family, kids, and a spouse and all that stuff, but um, being someone who had valued themselves off of being productive. And obviously, I like to learn. I like to grow. I'm like the growth guy. Like, I want to do and productivity and efficiency and all this stuff. It's great. Personal development is great. We're always doing, doing, doing. But then we get burned out. You're always giving, like people who give a lot. I know that like you're giving so much and then you feel like all these things because others aren't giving back or it's not reciprocated or maybe we had expectations, whether consciously or subconsciously, and then it's not happening. Now we have resentment and all these other emotions start to come up. And like that just builds up. And you still have to show up. You still have to go to work. You still got to do day-to-day life. And you're trying to grow. And then the environment, like the world around us is burning down and you're burning out. Like it's suffocating. You feel like you're drowning. You want to scream, but you want to help. You want to be that person. You want to show up. And this is a part of the story. And this is a part of why I do what I do too. So like those people that you're talking about, like this is why. And this I'm creating a product right now. I have the first prototype. Stick around. In the next few weeks, I will present this, and that's mainly what I'm working on. Okay, but it's to help people regulate their nervous systems, and this is like a daily practice to do because we know the information, but how do we actually implement it in our lives? Like I said, if you're busy with family and all this other stuff, like um, they you start to have resentment towards those things that you actually do care about. And it's like, maybe it's not those things, and it's not you per se as who you are. It's like what's happening inside. Um, and our interpretation of that too. Like, I've been talking about it, like our interpretation of what's happening. Like, it's a whole lot there. Hey, I feel like people from everywhere. I had Russia, New Zealand, now we got Canada in the house. What's up, everybody? Look, I, I'm grateful for where I'm at. I'm grateful for so much, but, or however, I don't know the best word after that. I would love to be in another country. Okay. Specifically, maybe there's some water somewhere, eating some fruit or something, which I'm not a vegan or vegetarian, but I do like fruit and I like fresh foods and just like cool vibes, you know? All right. Connecting back to nature and giving ourselves time becomes more obvious, but unfortunately, only when people hit burnout. So true. That is so true. And I've been talking about our senses recently, and how, we're caught up in the everyday life. Like, it's just systems we're in. Like, we're just conditioned, we're programmed. It's all automatic. We just live this life and we're just going, doing so much. And that creates tunnel vision. And we're so zoned in, zoomed in. And again, emotions inside of our body, stagnancy, toxins, all the things going on, the perfect storm, if you will. Um, but uh, it breeds burnout. And I've been talking about it recently, that my understanding of it, because I hit burnout too. I quit my job, like all the other stuff. Okay. Led me on a whole ego death journey transformation. I wrote a book recently about that. It's pretty much the hero's journey, which we see in so many stories. But it takes you on that whole journey. And this is what I teach and show on my YouTube channel too. I break it down. Like, that's what I love to do. I just break it down in a lot of different ways. But the burnout is us putting so much out, you know, the spark, our passion, our fire, our energy, and we don't have enough inside for ourselves a lot of times. Or we're holding on and it creates a lot of pressure and we feel like we're going to blow. But I was talking about our senses, because when we're in those environments and in those situations, we forget, because they're so automatic. Everything, breathing is automatic. Even this right now, we're not even thinking about it. It's just happening. Hearing is automatic. Okay, it's like we have no choice, for that. For our eyes, we can close them. Okay, our mouth, we can close it, but we're still like sensing stuff. But it's all automatic. And it's a gift, but we're so caught up that we forget about it. And it can actually help us. It's the little things, like you said, going into nature and giving us that time is obvious. And it's little, it's simple, it's free. But we need to bring more awareness, witnessing to that. And sometimes we're numbed out, and we numb ourselves intentionally sometimes. And sometimes, when you take substances and you use different things, we numb ourselves to the sensations. And so it's very hard to feel at that point. It's very hard to notice these things because we've numbed ourselves. Like, we're desensitized on so many levels. And so it's a process to get back to noticing those senses and our interpretation. Then we have to retrain ourselves on the interpretation, because we've had such a negative reaction, trauma, and buildup of energy, and just not processing it. And so, yeah, again, we're just desensitized. I mean, like, literally, that's what happens to us. Um, Thank you so much. Putting positivity on lives, a precious commodity. Hey, that's what we do here. And that's the whole thing. And I was talking about this on TikTok Live the other day, because I had a little screenshot and it was talking about, like, if you hold a thought for 17 seconds, you can, yeah, it's like law of attraction. You can, like, change the way you feel or something like that. If you hold it for 60 seconds, you can start to manifest or something like that. And I was like, I'm not having this up here talking about manifestation and law of attraction words for something personal, for like monetary gain or whatever the thing is. It is because we can hold better energy, because we give that off and we affect others around us. Like you just said, people have families, they work in companies, they have important positions. I just put a short out on here about how our nutrition and sleep are so important, and people that hold high positions, doctors, nurses, law enforcement, firefighters, like public servants of all kind, our political figures, important people, if they not taking care of themselves on that level, they affect so many people. They can't show up good. Like their performance is lacking. Their cognitive ability is lacking. So it's so important because it's not just for us, it affects others around us, our communities around us. And we need strong people in our communities. It's like, come on, we need this. Have you ever worked at a wellness retreat? It seems that would be a great. I have not. That is a goal of mine to do for sure. Um, I've over the last 2 going on 3, this will be the 3rd year, to a women's retreat in Oklahoma. My ladies out there, and that was very healing for me, and it's been a good experience. But that was the only retreat that I've ever done, and but anyway, yeah, that is a future goal, is to do those and to actually like provide spaces and things like that too. I just haven't done it, and haven't been able to get to any more established ones too. This one that I've been going to, it's been like building and structuring itself in different ways and things like that. But yeah, what's the best piece of advice I've ever received? Oh man, the best piece of advice? Sheesh. That's hard because I've received a lot of advice, a lot of good information. I mean, obviously, I seek. My book is called The Way of the Seeker. People who question things, who are searching, who want growth as well. Um, but so I have always questioned and researched and followed certain people who share information on this level. So as far as like personal advice that I've gotten from people in person, that's a hard one. I would have to think about that. What was the best piece of advice I've ever gotten? I don't know. The thing that can come to mind right now, and I don't know if like somebody directly told me or if this was kind of a culmination of like seeing others around me and going on my own journey, but I always say to continue to shine on at the end of my videos. And I say that because I'm like, if you don't see it, be it as well. But to shine on, to not dim your light. I say that I've lost my smile at one point when I was younger, because I had people ask me like, "Why are you smiling?" I grew up in poverty, and in certain environments, there was nothing to smile about. Why are you smiling? And I always stood out too. And I had to go through my whole identity um, journey of self discovery, and that was so many layers to that. But to fully embody who I am and to not dim my light and to shine, even though people try to dim your light and try to tell you who you are, and or whatever it is, because they're uncomfortable, whatever it is. Sorry, y'all, I got a phone call. Um, but yeah, it would be more so about not dimming your light. And yeah, I mean, we're never going to know everything. Like, just show up fully as who you are, and we'll learn and grow, and you know, just be honest of like where you're at in life, and whatever. Like, we obviously grow and we change as a person, but at that deep core soul level, you still are this that person inside that you are. And I believe you go on that self discovery journey. Again, I talk about it in my book, The Way of the Seeker. You feel a call or a pull because you start to question things. You know that there's more to life. Okay, there's, something there. Like, everything's a lie. Why were we told this? Um, you know, we were born into this world. We were given a name. We were told how to walk, talk, and eat. We learn the language of our community. We learn how the people around us do things in our community. We were given a religion or a belief system, and they were sent into a programming facility. a school. And then we were told when you get out of that, you get married, you get a job, you just work that job until you retire and you purchase things that will make you happy. This family will make you happy. Those things will make you happy. This is the American dream. If you're in America, I know y'all are in like different countries around here, but I'm sure you have some similar progression towards what you're supposed to do on earth as is human. And I always questioned things because I was different. I thought different. I felt different. I didn't fit in. I wanted to, because when you stand out, that's like danger. That's fear. You're going to get judged. Like all these things. So it's like just so much to it. You're stressed out all the time. How to heal. I don't know. That's a very broad thing right there. And there's no one way. Depends on your situation as well. I'm a holistic wellness guide. So, I mean, we would have to look at the different areas of your life. You're stressed out all of the time. Are you stressing yourself out? It's like, who's doing it to you? Sometimes it's just us. We do it to ourselves. Now, there are, not to say you don't have bills, you don't got to go to work, you don't got kids to take care of. I'm not saying that. Okay. You got health concerns, whatever the thing is. But when we start to work on something, though, when we start to put the work into that and start making change and growth in an area, it affects other areas around us. And we start to see where the leaks are. Okay. And then we can address the leak. And then once that's addressed, we can grow. When we grow, we might start to feel another leak. And then we're like, oh, over here, physical, gut health, disease. Why is that happening? Oh, wait, emotional stress, trauma, blocked emotions, your energy's not flowing, all these things. So, how to heal, get out in nature would be the initial thing. Get better sleep, stop snacking and eating at night, cut out the sugar, drink some water with a little Celtic sea salt. Um, and yeah, just eat more whole foods. Then you can gain some mental clarity. You can feel a bit more natural energy. And then from there, you can assess and see, okay, do I need to lose weight? Is that what it is? Do I need to find a better job? Do I need to have hard conversations with the people around me to set boundaries or, establish a new routine, whatever it is? I mean, you know, but mainly to reduce some stress is regulating your nervous system, feeling safe within your own body, which means you need to understand the interpretations of the emotions that you are feeling. And sometimes you need to release those emotions as well through somatic therapy, some talk therapy, some writing in a journal. There's different ways we can do that. Subscribe to my channel because, I mean, I talk about this all the time. 2 videos a week. This live stream every Wednesday, and then Sunday a long form video. And then sometimes I'll have shorts. You can follow me on all social media. Alchemmentor. No LAB. Just like on this channel, it's Alchemmentor LAB. There's no LAB. It's just Alchemmentor on all social media. Find me on TikTok. Okay, I post these shorts and things like that. So, hey, thank you for hanging out with me, showing the love, asking those great questions. Resolute Island, thank you so much. And for subscribing. Let's chat again soon. And you take care. Enjoy yourself. In New Zealand, man, I can only imagine how it is there. You were on here another time. I don't even know who you are. What the? Do I remember you? Am I supposed to remember you? Who are you? First of all, like, I can't see an image of who you are. Can I go here? Oh, it don't let me out the. I'll have to find you after my live. I was gonna see if I can subscribe to your channel or something if you had videos up. Resolute Island. But yeah, so that's all I got for today. I've been on here long enough. It has cooled off a little bit. I hear my cardinal friend that's back. And I think I'm good on the light wave, light spectrum, color being the brain's interpretation of the physical size and space between wavelengths, all that stuff, coherent scattering. I'm good on that for right now. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great day. Hope y'all been good. I'm getting tired, but I jump on TikTok after this, so I'll hop on live there for a little bit. I doubt I'll stay for very long either. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna finish my coconut water, get hydrated. Hopefully this rain will come in tomorrow or the next day and we'll cool off here and I can like do some more research and studying so that my next Wednesday live I can have something else to talk to you about because this was really interesting. And I need to get some lapis lazuli. Um, but I'm gonna be traveling soon, so y'all will just have to come with me, and I will be on the go, and we'll see how these lives go, and also my content. I'm gonna work on batching some, but some I want to do a vlog of my where I'm going next. It's I'm not gonna go for very long, but we'll see what happens. I don't even know how eventful it'll be and how much I can really show on there, but I was thinking about that. But as far as editing, I can only use my phone right now. So I don't know if that'll happen. We will see. Either way, I'm going to be on my live stream every Wednesday. I'm actually going to try and get on there earlier in the day. I would like to do that just to get it over with because waiting all day, um, I mean, I was getting stuff done earlier today, so it kind of worked out. But yeah, either way, next Wednesday, I'll be back on this live. So subscribe so you don't miss out. And thank you all for joining me. Charlie Jones, I'm not going to approve that comment. That's disgusting. I need you to figure out what are you doing with your life and find something else to do. All right, y'all, continue to shine on. I will see y'all next Wednesday.